So, hi everyone. Today I am going to discuss regarding that some basic concept of corrosion. What is generally corrosion? You know that generally the metals are undergoes corrosion. What's the reason you know that? So, best example of corrosion is called rusting of iron. You know the formula of rusting of iron, or I can give one more example for that. What is the major ore of iron? There are two stable ores of iron. One is hematite, another one is called magnetite. The formula of hematite is Fe2O3 3H2O, trihydrated ferric oxide. So this Fe2O3 3H2O is a more stable in the environment from millions years ago because the chemical composition is completely stable in nature. We can extract the iron from that Fe2O3 3H2O, trihydrated ferric oxide. From the ore, we can extract the metal by using some metallurgical process. We can extract the iron, means Fe, from its respective hematite ore such as Fe2O3 3H2O. Just you can observe, the hematite ore is a stable, but extracted iron is unstable. Due to their instability, this iron is readily react with some reagents or some materials. What are those materials? Generally, this iron is unstable in nature, which react with oxygen and moisture present in the given atmosphere. So this Fe iron, which undergo reaction with the oxygen and moisture present in the environment, which reform as it is its respective metal oxide such as ferric oxide. See here, the Fe2O3 3H2O is a hematite ore. We can extract the iron from Fe2O3 3H2O. So this hematite ore is a stable, but our extracted iron is a unstable. This unstable iron, to achieve the stability, which undergoes reaction with oxygen and moisture, again to attain the stability, reform as it is Fe2O3 3H2O. This is also called as rust. Here the hematite ore and rust is both are same composition. So again iron reconvert as its respective metal oxide, stable metal oxide such as Fe2O3 3H2O while react with oxygen and moisture. Can you observe here? This iron reacts with oxygen and moisture, which form its stable metal oxide or iron oxide with trihydrated molecule. This natural process is called as corrosion. The same will happen in another case also, that is called aluminium. What is the ore of the aluminium? It's a bauxite. Bauxite is a ore of aluminium. It is called aluminium oxide, Al2O3. The composition is Al2O3. This aluminium oxide or bauxite, we can separate the aluminium from that. Aluminium oxide or bauxite is a stable, but separated aluminium metal is a unstable. This unstable aluminium attains or retains their original position or to attain the stability, which is also react with oxygen and moisture to form as it is Al2O3. This is also same process. So this natural process is called as corrosion. Generally metals are undergoes corrosion. Metals are undergoes corrosion which form its respective stable metal oxide. For example, iron forms iron oxide, aluminium forms aluminium oxide, copper forms copper oxide. Just like that. So generally the metal form its a stable metal oxide form. So this is called as a rust. This process is called as a corrosion. Let's see the definition of corrosion. So here you know that when the iron is undergoes corrosion, it forms its stable oxide form. Gradually the metal weight is decreases which convert its respective metal oxide. So here the iron converted into iron oxide. So gradually the pure metal weight is gradually decreases. Can you call this as a gradual degradation? I will give a best example for this. Suppose we can purchase one gate with a weight of around 100 kg. So after 10 years, we will go for again you weigh the gate. So the gate is around the 90 kg. What's the reason actually behind in that? Yes, the iron gate is undergoes corrosion throughout this 10 years. So can you call, so this is a gradual degradation or gradual deterioration of metal. It's nothing but decreasing in its weight of metal. How? Which form? It's stable oxide form. Whenever it is exposed to the corrosive environment, this natural process is called as corrosion. So again I will come to the definition. The gradual degradation or deterioration of metal which form its respective stable oxide form whenever it is exposed to the corrosive environment such as oxygen and moisture is called as corrosion. The best example is, the one is rusting of iron, the second one is called rusting of copper. So generally the green deposit of cupric oxide which is produced on the copper. So copper form its respective copper oxide or cupric oxide. The next, corrosion are mainly classified into two types. The one is dry corrosion and another one is called wet corrosion. What's meant by dry corrosion? Generally the corrosion occurs due to the attack of dry gases without moisture or aqueous media. For example, the chlorine gas is passed onto the metal surface which precedes the corrosion. This type of corrosion happens in the absence of moisture or aqueous media. This type of corrosion is called as dry corrosion. So the thing is only that it's an either presence of moisture or absence of moisture. If the corrosion occurs in the absence of moisture or aqueous media, that means H2O. So this type of corrosion is called as dry corrosion. Attack of chlorine gas onto the metal which leads to the corrosion. This type of corrosion is called as dry corrosion. Generally the dry corrosions are explained on the basis of some chemical reaction, direct chemical reaction, how the chlorine is attacks or react with metal which form its respective metal oxide. So another case is called wet corrosion. It's a reverse of dry corrosion. Corrosion occurs in the presence of moisture or aqueous media. That type of corrosion is called as wet corrosion. Do you know that our rusting of iron which happens in the presence of oxygen and moisture, that reason the rusting of iron is called as a wet corrosion. So this wet corrosion is explained on the basis of electrochemical theory. Okay, so generally the wet corrosion is explained on the basis of electrochemical theory. What is meant by the electrochemical theory? How that electrochemical theory is directly involved in our corrosion reaction. Let's see that. So that is called electrochemical theory of corrosion while taking iron as an example. Now that we will take one example of iron metal piece which is exposed to the corrosive environment such as oxygen and moisture. After some time we are observing a powdery substance which are produced over the metal surface. So this is called its respective stable metal oxide, that is called Fe2O3 3H2O. Can you call this is a rust or corrosive product? Whenever the metal is exposed to the corrosive environment such as oxygen and moisture which form its respective metal oxide, this is called as a rust. So this process is called as a corrosion. How this metal convert its respective metal oxide with 3 molecules of water by using a theory. That theory is called as an electrochemical theory. So basically what is meant by electrochemical theory? A theory which explains the interconversion in between the electrical energy and chemical energy. I will give us a small example of Daniell cell. So Daniell cell is a combination of zinc and copper. So zinc acts as an anode, copper acts as a cathode. Zinc undergoes oxidation to liberate two number of electrons. Liberated two electrons are received by the copper ions, which undergoes reduction. There is a rapid migration of electrons from anodic area to cathodic area, which produces some potential difference or nothing but voltage. So this theory is easily explained how the chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. So this theory is called as an electrochemical theory, and also the cell is responsible for this conversion. That cell is called as an electrochemical cell. Cell responsible for the conversion from chemical energy into electrical energy and electrical energy into chemical energy, vice versa. Okay, now we'll see how this electrochemical theory which involved in our corrosion reaction. Okay, yes, whenever the metal is exposed to the corrosive environment, a large number of minute galvanic cells are produced over the metal surface. So first of all, when the metal is exposed to the corrosive environment, a large number of minute imaginary millions together, so imaginary galvanic cells are produced over the metal surface. So each galvanic cell is differentiated as two imaginary layers. One is anodic layer, another one is called cathodic layer. It's very simple. So when the metal is exposed to the corrosive environment, so a large number of galvanic cells are produced over the metal. Each galvanic cell consists of one anodic layer, another one is called cathodic layer. The next, according to the electrochemical theory, anodic layer generally undergoes oxidation, okay, which undergoes oxidation, which convert from metal to metal ion, which liberates some amount of electrons. You know that according to the electrochemical theory, anodic layer undergoes oxidation, which liberates some amount of electrons by the conversion from metal to metal ions, written as by the formation of metal ions from its respective metal. Here the metal undergoes oxidation to form its respective metal ions with the liberation of electrons at anodic layer of a galvanic cell. These liberated electrons from anode, which is received by the cathodic layer, which undergoes reduction. Can you here observe that? So each galvanic cell is differentiated as two layers. One is anodic layer, another one is called cathodic layer. According to the electrochemical theory, anodic layer liberates electrons. This reaction is called as oxidation. The cathodic layer receives the electron. This reaction is called as an reduction. Oxidation and reduction takes place at simultaneously. Okay, here you know that electrons are liberated from anodic layer, electrons are received from the cathodic layer. Can you observe that there is a rapid migration of electrons from anodic area to cathodic area? Continuously electrons are migrated from anodic area to cathodic area. This is called as a potential difference developed in between anode and cathode. Okay, so at this time there is a migration of electrons occurs from anodic to cathodic layer, which develops a potential difference. The developed potential difference is a driving force for the corrosion process. Suppose we will get more potential difference, the metal is readily undergoes corrosion. So this is an important theory that is called electrochemical theory, which is involved in the corrosion reaction. Okay, when the metal is exposed to the corrosive environment, which form a large number of galvanic cells, each galvanic cell consists of anodic layer and cathodic layer. According to the electrochemical theory, anodic layer undergoes oxidation, which liberates some amount of electrons. This reaction is called as oxidation. So liberated electrons are received by the cathode, which undergoes reduction. So here there is a rapid migration of electron from anodic area to cathodic area occurs which produce a potential difference. So this potential difference is a driving force for the corrosion process. Suppose if you get more potential difference, the metal is readily undergoes corrosion. Okay friends, okay. So this is actually electrochemical theory, how it is directly involved in the corrosion reaction. Let us see the reaction, what happens, or what are the particular reactions that happens at both anode as well as cathode. Okay, you know that at the anode, the iron metal undergoes oxidation. Okay, so here the iron metal undergoes oxidation which form its respective metal ions with the liberation of electrons. Look at the reaction. So here the iron is a metal. At the anode, the iron metal undergoes oxidation which form its respective metal ion. So this is called ferrous ion, Fe+2. So with the liberation of 2 number of electrons. Okay. So this is an anodic reaction. So at the anode, the metal undergoes oxidation which liberates some 2 number of electron by the conversion from metal to metal ion. So now we will get a product of Fe+2 and 2 electrons. So Fe+2 is called as an anodic product. This is called metal ion. So along with that, 2 number of electrons are liberated. So these 2 number of electrons are received by the cathode. This type of reaction is called as reduction. So oxidation happens at anode, but reduction is happens at cathode. Here see that the liberated electrons from the anode received by the cathode which undergoes reduction. Okay, sorry. So the cathodic reactions takes place in 2 ways. One is liberation of hydrogen, another one is called absorption of oxygen. See here, you can observe that. So reduction reaction happens only anodic reaction only one case, but reduction takes place in 2 ways. It's an either liberation of hydrogen or absorption of oxygen. Let's see one by one what happens at the liberation of hydrogen. Generally know that this is the liberation of hydrogen which happens at product side. It is always happens in the absence of oxygen. See, in the product there is an hydrogen, there is no oxygen. That reason, so this reaction happens in the absence of oxygen. So this is called as an deaerated condition. So the first case, liberation of hydrogen takes place in the absence of air or oxygen. So look at in the 2 media. So we'll take in 2 media. One is acidic media, another one is neutral media. There is no basic media. I'll tell that. So here in acidic media, what is the meaning of acidic media? Due to the presence of higher concentration of H+ ion. Okay. So what is the difference between acidic media and neutral media and basic media? Suppose a media which consists of higher concentration of H+ ion, this is called as acidic media. If the same media which consists of highest concentration of OH- is called as basic media. If both are same, this is called as a water, it is called as a neutral media. That's the difference between the acidic, neutral and basic media. We'll take the example of acidic media here. So here the acidic media means due to the presence of higher concentration of H+ ion. See, this H+ ion receives 2 number of electrons from anode. Liberated electrons received by the cathodic layer. In acidic media, H+ ion receives 2 number of electrons which undergoes reduction which liberates hydrogen. For balancing purpose, we can written as 2H+, 2. This is already come from anode, but it should be written as 2H+ ion. H+ ion for 2H+ ion because we get the H2. Hydrogen can be liberated. Look at the heading, liberation of hydrogen. Okay, 2H+ receives 2 number of electron from anode which undergoes reduction which liberate hydrogen. The second one, the neutral media. Neutral media means presence of water, H2O, which receives 2 number of electrons, same again from the anode, which undergoes reduction, which should be a liberate hydrogen along with the liberation of 2 molecule of hydroxyl ions. Okay, so these are the 2 types of reaction which happens due to the liberation of hydrogen. Here acidic media in neutral media which liberates the hydrogen. Okay, so that is heading is called liberation of hydrogen. This is one thing happen at the cathodic end. So another case is absorption of oxygen. So generally you know that absorption of oxygen means which should be happens in the presence of air or oxygen. Same as in acidic media, due to the presence of higher concentration of H plus ion, it should be absorption of oxygen. That reason you can written in the reactant side. So H plus ion receives or absorb oxygen while receives 2 number of electrons from the anode, same which undergoes reduction, we get the water as a product. Here, so 2H plus half O2 plus 2 electron. Look at the balancing the equation, 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen. So oxygen is 1, here half O2 is a single oxygen. So here in acidic media, H plus ion absorb the oxygen while receiving 2 number of electrons which undergoes reduction to form water. So what about another case? Neutral media. Sorry, I just L is missing. Okay, so here the water absorb oxygen while receiving 2 number of electron which undergoes reduction. We get the product as hydroxyl ion. Again the balancing purpose we can written as 2OH minus, 2 hydrogen. So 2 oxygen, I think here 1 already is there, half O2 means 1, 1 plus 1, 2 oxygen. Okay, so this is about the charge, 2 electrons, 2 electrons. Okay, yes, you know that. So there are 2 types of cathodic reaction. One is either liberation of hydrogen or absorption of oxygen. In the liberation of hydrogen, the major product is hydrogen. In the liberation of absorption of oxygen, the major product is hydroxyl ion. Can you call? So anodic product is no doubt it is an Fe plus 2. But cathodic products are 2 types. It's an either hydrogen or hydroxyl ions. Okay. So look at here, hydrogen and hydroxyl ion which is liberated at the cathode is called as an cathodic ions. Finally, anodic ion, only one, Fe plus 2, combines with any one of the cathodic ion, that is called OH minus, which form its unstable ferrous hydroxide. See, this anodic ion such as Fe plus 2 combines with any one of the cathodic ion. We will take the example of any one of them is either hydrogen or OH minus. We will take the OH minus to form an unstable ferrous hydroxide, FeOH twice. Okay, so look at the reaction. Fe plus 2 combines with OH minus, we get FeOH twice. For balancing purpose again 2 OH minus, this is called OH twice. So this is an unstable ferrous hydroxide. So this unstable ferrous hydroxide further undergoes oxidation in presence of oxygen as well as moisture. We get Fe2O3 3H2O. This is a stable, this is called as an rust or corrosive product. So unstable ferrous hydroxide further undergoes oxidation in the presence of oxygen and moisture to form a stable Fe2O3 3H2O trihydrated ferric oxide is called as an corrosive product or rust. Okay, so this is called, so how that iron is converted into iron oxide. Okay, so iron is converted into iron oxide through the electrochemical theory. So this class is explains on definition of corrosion and main classification of corrosion, dry corrosion and wet corrosion, and the explanation on electrochemical theory of corrosion while taking iron as an example. Thank you.